A franchise that was thought to be lost to the sands of time has definitely come back and been thrust into the limelight, and that is Mega Man. Now, Mega Man, of course, got his start on the NES with the first 6 titles coming to the Nintendo Entertainment System, and honestly, I was never really good at these games as a kid. I'm really not that great at them as an adult, but as a kid, I don't think I ever beat one of these games. They were very fun, though. They were very gorgeous to look at, and the gameplay was just top-notch in these games. Then, of course, we got Mega Man 7 on the Super Nintendo, Mega Man 8 on the Sega Saturn and the PlayStation, and then Mega Man just sort of disappeared as far as the mainline Mega Man games were concerned. There were a bunch of different Mega Man games going on, like Mega Man 64, Mega Man X. Mega Man was just sort of expanding into this big thing, but people always wanted a traditional Mega Man game to sort of come back. We got Mega Man 9 and 10 that were released, but they were definitely in the NES style of the original Mega Mans. There wasn't really a big progression as far as what Mega Man was capable of, but when Mega Man 11 was announced, people lost their minds because it was a return to form for the series. It was a traditional Mega Man game, but made for the modern age, and Mega Man 11 was a game that I was definitely looking forward to playing. Well, I ended up picking it up on my Nintendo Switch, and I can honestly say I feel like this might be the best Mega Man game ever, and I'm going to explain to you why that is in just a moment. So sit back, relax, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and let's jump into the topic of Mega Man 11 and why it might be the best Mega Man game ever.
Hey, RGT 85. Hey, Sean.
Oh my God, it's Stevie Richards! Now, before we get into the meat and the potatoes of the Mega Man 11 review, here's a message from our sponsor for this video. There's a condition that strikes millions of men every year. Whether it just goes undiagnosed or unnoticed, it is a condition that really needs to be addressed because it is a big problem, and that condition is neckbearditis. Neckbeards are gross. They make you look untamed. They make you look like a savage. But honestly, I just hate buying razors. Going to a store and having to pick out razors is expensive. And of course, you have to have the chastisation of the store employees as you try to open up those plastic things. Well, what if there was a way to get razors delivered to your door along with other great products for men? Well, Dollar Shave Club is doing something very special by not only sponsoring this video, but by offering an awesome package for just $5 shipped to your door. You get an essential package for men. This package comes with 4 essential products that every man needs to have in their collection. The first and foremost is a fresh razor with 4 razor blades, 1 for every week. So that way you're keeping your beard fresh, you're looking good, you're feeling good. And these are high quality razors as well. It also comes with some easy shave butter designed to help your skin and make your skin look as good as possible. You also get the Amber Lavender Body Cleanser. So that way your body is feeling good, smelling good, and of course looking good. And you get the One Wipe Charlies, because let's face it, this is a problem that plagues us as well. Sometimes you wake up and you got a little itchy butt. Well, this will help condition that itchy butt and get rid of that problem. So men, it's time to take a stand against these things. I want you guys to check out the link in the description box and in the pinned comment section down below. You can get this essential package delivered to your door for just $5. I want to thank Dollar Shave Club for sponsoring this video and for sponsoring other YouTubers by helping out the YouTube community. It's a great product and it's a great thing that you can use, and your neck beard can go from this to this. That's dollarshaveclub.com/RGT. Right when you start up Mega Man 11, you get these feelings of nostalgia. I just love everything about the intro screen. It's so simple, yet it says so much about the game. When you start up the game, you can see one of the big additions to Mega Man 11 is a difficulty setting. There's actually 4 different difficulty settings. Something for people who have never played a Mega Man game, something for people who haven't played a Mega Man game in a while, something for people who are diehard Mega Man fans, and then of course the hardest difficulty that you will want to explore. Now, when you start up the game, you are introduced to a long cutscene, and honestly, this was probably the one thing I didn't care for that much. I felt this cutscene kind of dragged out too long. It sort of lays the background work for what the story is about. Basically, Dr. Light and Dr. Wily have a falling out in college over something called the double gear system, and of course, this is sort of the antithesis, this is sort of the driving catalyst for what the story is based on. Now, it's a good story, like there's voice acting and stuff like that in some of the cutscenes, and the voice acting is very well done, but I just felt like it dragged on a little bit too long. I wanted to hop into the gameplay action, check out the different levels, and check out the different bosses. Now, there are 8 Mega Man bosses to battle in this game, and in a traditional Mega Man style, whenever you beat this boss, you get their ability. Now, I'm sure there's different trees and different routes you're supposed to go in order to get different items and different weapons that impact bosses in a different manner, but being that this game is so new, I just sort of dove into it and just said, screw it, I will figure it out as I go along. Now, there are 8 different bosses, like I said. There is Block Man, Fuse Man, Blast Man, Acid Man, Tundra Man, Torch Man, Impact Man, and Bounce Man. And all of these different characters have their own voices, and of course they have their own abilities. Now, once you finally dive into a level, you pick what level you want, you are treated to just absolutely top-notch presentation. I love the visual style of this game. It's definitely very retro, definitely sort of has that 2D aesthetic. It is a 2D game, but it definitely looks very modern as well. The characters look great. The animation is very fluid. There's a lot of little interesting deviations going on within the levels as well. Things like, you know, a lighting system. There's a certain level where you play it when you do the Torchman level. Basically, there's this character that goes across the screen that basically lights up the screen. If you take out this character, the whole screen goes black. It's little things like that that just look so good. The frame rate is rock solid. I did not experience a single frame rate drop, a single moment of slowdown, and there's a lot of crazy stuff going on. There's lasers coming at you, explosions, disappearing platforms, all sorts of crazy stuff, but the gameplay never suffers. The gameplay never gets slowed down, and the gameplay just continues to be rock solid and very buttery smooth. I love all of the different levels. They all really feel unique. They really have like their own sort of gimmick when it comes down to it, which is pretty much in a traditional Mega Man style, but I like that. There's definitely different levels that will feel harder at first, so you kind of have to explore different levels and get different abilities. Now, like I said, in traditional Mega Man style, when you defeat a boss, you get their ability, and then once you start gathering different abilities, it is actually mapped to the R stick on the Nintendo Switch, so you can easily choose between these abilities on the fly, and I really like that. That's actually really intuitive because it's very easy to switch back and forth. Now, of course, one of the main things in this is the double gear system, and the double gear system is actually pretty cool. So what the double gear system is basically your double gear system allows for 2 different things to be impacted. You can hit the R trigger and basically have time slow down, and you can shoot more bullets at an enemy. You can hit the L trigger and have a more powerful shot. Now, your gear meter does fill up, so if it gets overheated, you won't be able to use your gears for a certain amount of time. And there's also a special thing where if you are low on life, you can hit both L and R at the same time, and you will have both the speed and the power going on for you. So it's pretty cool. You know, it's not a huge deal. Sometimes I forgot it even existed, but when you get into a tricky situation or a situation where you need a little bit of extra power, or basically a boss battle if you're a noob like me, you can definitely utilize these, and it definitely makes the game feel a bit easier. One thing I really like about Mega Man 11 though is the 4 difficulty settings, because it really makes Mega Man accessible to pretty much everyone. Now, there is still challenges going on no matter what difficulty setting you do because of platforming and things like that, but there's an item shop with Dr. Light that you can actually access that makes these things a lot easier if you need them to be easier. There's items such as additional E-tanks that you can buy and additional lives. There's items such as if you fall into a pit, a character will come out and get you out of this pit. You can get different abilities and things like that. I actually picked up an ability to where if I'm not shooting my laser, basically it's automatically charging, so that way whenever I hit it, it's basically doing a huge attack. And there's lots of different things that you can sort of fine-tune the gameplay to meet your style and meet your sort of difficulty needs. If you want a hardcore experience, Mega Man 11 is going to offer you that. If you want a more casual experience, an easier experience, you just want to explore the levels in the game and really sort of sit back and enjoy it without having to be super stressed out, you can do that as well. Now, of course, the platforming is still very tricky in certain areas, and there's no way sort of around that, but it definitely makes it for an easier experience if you are a newcomer to the Mega Man series. Definitely makes the game very accessible as well. And there's a bunch of cool bonus stuff as well. There's things like time trials where you can see how fast you can get through a level. There's things like where it uses how many jumps that you do. The less amount of jumps is better for your ranking. And there's online rankings as well. You can look at different people's leaderboard stuff. You can look at different replays and stuff. It is a robust pack package. And of course, there is information on all of the characters as well that you can sort of visit in a museum style thing. The fact that this is a $29.99 package is pretty impressive to me. And honestly, I could get why it is $29.99. It's definitely hard to sell a 2D platformer that's sort of based in a retro style for more than that $30 price point, but I think people would have paid $40 or $50 for it because it's just so tight. The game is just so well crafted, and it shows that Capcom can still tap into these old franchises and still breathe new life into them. Mega Man has been getting tons of games lately, with the Legacy Collection coming to the Switch, the X Collection coming to the Switch, the PS4 and the Xbox One as well. Mega Man is definitely alive and well, but I honestly feel like Mega Man 11 is the most fun that I've ever had with a Mega Man game, a traditional Mega Man game, because it's very easily accessible. If things get a bit too difficult, you can tinker with things, you can buy different items, you can access different things to make your experience a little bit easier. And then if you want to go back and choose a different difficulty setting and play it a little bit more hardcore, you could do that as well. The levels are expertly designed. The game is just so much fun. It has really surprised me how much I enjoyed this game as someone who never really got deep into the Mega Man series. I can honestly say that Mega Man 11 is my favorite traditional Mega Man game as of right now. It's an absolute joy to play and is honestly what Mighty Number 9 should have been. But those are my thoughts on Mega Man 11. Now, I reviewed the Nintendo Switch version of this game. I'm sure it is fantastic on all other platforms as well, but having that Switch ability and plus additional amiibo support is pretty cool as well. I don't have a Mega Man amiibo, so I was not able to access that sort of stuff. But let me know in the comments section down below what you think of Mega Man 11. Have you picked it up? Have you been playing it? And if so, if you think it is a fun game, and if you are on board with me saying that it is probably the best Mega Man experience ever. And thank you for watching this video. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications. I want to give one more special thank you to Dollar Shave Club for sponsoring this video. Make sure you guys check out that link in the description and in the pinned comment section. Also, be sure to enter the $100 eShop gift card giveaway that we are doing, depending on when you're watching this video. That may still be going on. And then, hey, you get that $100, you could buy your copy of Mega Man 11 and then like 3 other games or something like that. And as always, I will catch you guys on the next video. Later.